Morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on in these live streams. Think of them like office hours. I'm here to drum. I'm here to practice, to improve stuff that I'm trying to get better at, and people sometimes ask me questions. In all these 500 plus live streams, there's timestamps in the description to show you what I was practicing or what kind of question I was answering. Because I've been drumming for almost 30 years, and because I've taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I get a range of questions about how to get better as a performer or how to get better as an educator, and I often edit those and put them inside of this drumming tips playlist that has over 20 hours of drumming Q&A on a range of different topics, like how journaling can help drummers, or why is DCI drumming so unmusical, or what are roughs, etc. Whatever the title is the first thing that I talk about, and if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips, that means there's more topics in there that might be of interest if the title is not. Now, if you're on my home tab of YouTube, you'll find thousands of free videos on here. However, there's like over 500 that are currently members first, like this one. Every single one of these videos is going to come out for free. For example, this one comes out on Friday. That other one that was above it comes out the following Friday. There's a brand new video that comes out every single week for the drumming tips, and then another one for the drumming lessons, and every single day is a brand new play along. If you want early access to the 500 plus, just click the join button. It's 99 cents, or in this case, for some reason, I have a 100% discount for my membership. I don't know why. Maybe you've got that too, so check that. But yeah, it gives you early access for 99 cents if you want it, or just wait. They're all coming out for free. I don't sell educational content. Now, I'm going to be working on paradiddles today, so I'm going to have Shia LaBeouf here help motivate me and you to get better at drumming. So, Shia, help me out. Thank you for the kind words. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Wow, Shia LaBeouf. I'm so motivated now. One more flex for good luck. All right. I'm going to my home tab of YouTube. On my home tab of YouTube, there are thousands of free resources. For example, there's chop exercises. If you're a rudimental drummer like I am, I highly recommend checking out the Shopping Spree playlist. It's currently got 38 videos inside of there. Some of them are simpler shopping sprees, and others are very complicated. There's over 1,000 grid variations. You have to click the header to show all of the different playlists for all of the different rudiments, but there's over 1,000 of them, so enjoy. Yesterday, I was practicing limb independence, so I was using the free resources that are inside of here. If you're a marching bass drummer, check out the marching bass drum section. There's drumline cadences and score format. There's also sight reading exercises. These start releasing publicly in November, I think. And then there's also almost 500 technique exercises. This is where I'll be spending most of my time today. At the very bottom is where you can find the tips, over 20 hours of me responding to Q&A on a range of different questions, as well as some scripted drumming lessons on a specific topic, like tenor playing zones or flams, or how to speed up a rudiment, or how to stretch and massage to keep your hands nice and healthy, or like this one that recently released about an hour ago. Is your drum instructor wrong about technique? It might be a different title. It's A/B testing right now, but you know. I'm going to warm up with a stick control variation. So if I go to the technique section, I'm going to play through this variation a few times. Clicking on the header for this, it shows you all the different lists. I can English sometimes, but inside of this stick control playlist, there are currently 16 videos in here. My favorite version is actually the advanced stick control with filler, which is right down here. In this one, it has both a duple and a triple feel, and you will fill in whatever the note is. So, for example, this is right, 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 left, right, 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 left, and it just keeps repeating that 4 times. This is the exact same thing, but you're filling in the left hand. So it's still right, 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 left, but now you're filling in those right hands with right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? Cool exercise. Really like it. And in the timestamps of all these thousands of free resources, you can go to whatever BPM you want. I don't know, 110 sounds good. Haven't drummed at all today, so stay tuned. We'll see how this goes. It might be bad. If so, we'll slow it down. Triplet version. New pattern. Hit my stick. I totally forgot the inverted diddle, which is these last two lines here. I was like too busy thinking about something else, so I just like ended the exercise early. My bad. So again, it's going from a duple feel into a triplet feel. So it's the same sticking idea as like a triplet pattern. So the measure or the line before this is like the 4. So then when it does the triplet version, you're just doing 3 strokes, okay? And again, you fill in those 3s, so as opposed to the 4s. Cool. So that's the basic idea. Duple to triple, and it goes from check to sticking to fill in. Okay. Here we go. 1 click faster. Now, by the way, this was actually the stick control variation that I used to teach at a high school that I was previously working with. And when we mark time to this, we'd mark time to the pulse. So it'd be like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when we got to the triplet part, 12, 16, we would go to the pulse again. So triplet, 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 triplet. So it's constantly going 1, 2, 3, 4 into triplet, 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 triplet. Dun, 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 dun. So you're constantly changing what your feet were doing with it. It was a fun little challenge, but we'd go slower. Like when we started learning it, we'd start at 40. So take your time with it. Cool. A couple more reps. Now, by the way, if you're practicing this, you'll hear the wood block, the beak, bop, beak, bop. It changes to that triplet feel, beak, bop, beak, bop. And again, the reason for that is to be able to practice that marking time changing with your feet to it. You could technically like play this as like 3/4 going through it instead of 4/4, so just keep it constant quarter note if you wanted to. But I thought it was more interesting to actually change the feel of it with your feet. So whatever you want to do. Last rep. Sweet. Doesn't take much to get warmed up, but just to do a little bit for 3-4 minutes to just get the blood flowing, and then stretch and massage. Speaking of, first stretch that I'm going to do is for the sides of the forearm. So you take your sticks, you hold them in your palms facing up. You pull in, you push through. It feels great. It looks funny. Hold it here for a wee bit. Dancing helps with stretching. Trust me, I'm a doctor. And to get out of the stretch, just go back out the way that you came. Now, if you do rotary motions like traditional grip, Stevens grip, rotate and hold to one end of the extreme. Hold it there for like 20 to 30 seconds. Rotate and hold to the other end of the extreme. Again, 20 to 30 seconds. I don't do those anymore, so I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to do next is actually stretch the underside of the forearm. Oh, that feels great. So stretching along here, you could do it like this. You could do it on your pad, or you could do this on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Don't put all your weight into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that felt great. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. You could do it one at a time like this. You could do this one on your pad. You could do this one on your legs if you're sitting. Or if you're got a wall near you, you can be like a zombie. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. So again, this is stretching the top side. Don't put all your weight into it. Okay, final stretch. Thumb to thumb. So this one, we're doing one finger is stretching the same finger on the other hand. It goes twice as fast that way. Hold it for like 20 or 30 seconds. If you need to hold it longer, do it. Your body is different than my body. That's a weird concept, right? Middle finger. Ooh, ASMR, enjoy that. Free of charge. You don't have to join the membership for that. Oh, that was a weak one. I failed you. And next up is the massage routine. So I'm going to go massage the forearm, the hands, the fingers. So always just kind of working my way down the arm. So the first one, you're doing your thumb on your top. Your fingers are underneath, massaging up and down. So you're massaging on the muscles and between the muscles, wherever it feels tight. If you use match grip, like with a wrist-based approach, it's going to be using that muscle right there. So it's not like a flexing thing. It's just literally moving it. So make sure you focus on that area. If you do rotary motions, like traditional grip, and it's rotating down the forearm, you might need to massage your bicep. Your bicep moves up and down quickly. Not a strength thing, but with it moving up and down, it might get sore. So you might need to do that. But I don't do those motions anymore, so I don't need to worry about that. Play match grip now instead of traditional, and we own a marimba, but it is in storage. Turns out an 11-foot long instrument is too big. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is massage the hands. So the thumb will massage the palm. The fingers will massage, I can speak, the back side of the hand. Just kind of working my way around. And switch. Okay, last one. Massage base the tip of each one of the fingers. At least twice. Just kind of wiggle your way down it while you massage it. If you have a finger that's particularly tight, do it like 3 or 4 times. Or 1,000 times, whatever. Listen to your body. Hear it scream in agony. Ow! Alright, so today I'm working on paradiddles. I've been working on it for the last couple of single pad streams. So I need to figure out what speed I'm going to play it at. So the exercise that I'm playing is called Paradiddle Zoom Zoom. My wife named it. And it makes me laugh. So I'm going to go back to the prior stream. Hello, Tyler. How you been? Do desu ka? How are you? You love your paradiddles? Paradiddle. Okay, so this one, last time I played it at 5,000 beats a minute. But today I don't want to show off, so I'm going to go a little slower than that. What were we at speed-wise? 109? Okay. Alright, so the exercise that I'm playing, you can find this in the home tab of YouTube. So if we go to the home tab and we scroll down past all these little play-alongs. Hi to you. What are you agreeing to? Hey. Been great? You're not open class? GG's! That's awesome. How do you feel? Are you still enjoying your role? Hopefully. Okay, so I'm in the technique section. Click. It shows you all the different play-alongs in here. The one that I'm working on is the Rudiment Builders playlist. So this one has a bunch of different videos in here to work on building up your rudiments. You know, hence the name. Currently 46 videos in here to work on a variety of stuff, like flam drags, inverts, whatever. The thing that I'm going to do is Paradiddle Zoom Zoom. It's towards the top here. So I was at 110. So I'm going to go into the timestamps in the description, and I'm going to click 110. But when I started this, like 3 or 4 streams ago, we started at the beginning, 20, literally, and went one click at a time. And now we're all the way up to 110. Wow. The things that I was working on while doing this was my thumb on my left hand, because of all the years doing traditional and now doing match grip. My thumb has this tendency to, I'll over-exaggerate, like move up towards the tip for pressure, like this, like squeezing in the top left corner in particular. And what I want is it to be nice and flat. Even contact point, not squeezing. We don't want to choke off the blood flow where it gets the white knuckles. That's bad. And then the other issue that I was having is my hand was flattening out. So it's turning into like a German grip instead of like this nice like American tilt and not French. But those were the 2 things that I was mainly focusing on with it. So that's what I've been trying to work on. Doot. If anything has been challenging me to question the status quo. In what way? Like how things are ran, or like the ways that you teach, or the types of music that you play? Like there's so many things that you could challenge for the status quo, but I'm glad to hear that. Transformative experiences are wonderful. Like I have to remind myself with my tattoo that sometimes transformative experiences feel like it's raining and you got to learn how to play in the rain. Flip the umbrella upside down. Doot. How do you feel your bass drum coordination? When you say bass drum coordination, do you mean like drum kit? Or are you talking about marching bass drum? Hi, drum. And just learned jig 2. Nice. I'm going to play Paradiddle Zoom Zoom, which is not jig 2. Careful though. You say that out loud and like the drumming boogeyman will come and smote you. that is quick. Okay, so for I can't language today. Drum kit. Yeah. So the bass drum coordination and whatnot. What I'd recommend doing. Well, so if you go to the home tab here, scroll down to the limb independence section. The coordination is going to come with working on your timing, and the way that you can work on your timing is playing stuff with the foot, like these like 16th note timing exercises, or even like the timing transitions or eighth or triplet, whatever. Any of these first 4 playlists would be great under the limb independent section. So for example, if you wanted to like work on your foot timing for your right foot on the bass drum, just pick a random one of these. I don't know, variation 6. Sounds great. And it's got just a ton of different rhythms that you can play through at whatever tempo you want. And so it starts off with 1 note, and then 2 notes, and then 3 notes, at 4. It goes all the way up till 8, okay? So this would be super helpful for you. Even if you only get through like the first 4 at whatever BPM you choose, this would be like really good for being able to develop that coordination for your foot. And then what you can start doing is like filling in for notes where you are not playing with the bass drum. So you can be like foot, snare, 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 foot, snare, snare, and like go through that, or whatever the pattern is, just to be able to get that down. Another thing, just like set like a metronome onto a subdivision and just be like blap 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 boop boop blap blap boop blap boop 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 blap, whatever you want to do with your hands versus your feet. Just improvise different sticking patterns. Another thing that you could potentially do is you could do the thing that I was just warming up with, which is stick control variations. If you go into the technique section, inside of here, in the scroll down, the stick control variations playlist, there's 16th note versions of stick control as well as some triplet ones. And you just treat like the upper body as one limb and then your foot as another limb. So for example, if we just go with like normal stick control here, all the R's will be the upper body, all the L's will be the foot. So you play like tom, 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 bass, tom, 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 bass, tom, 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 bass, and just go through this. So it's just like straight 16th notes the entire time, or triplets if you do those other ones. But this could be a way that you could work on your coordination. And then you just slowly speed it up. Or you could do the filler version like I warmed up with, so you can get into some more wackier stuff, whatever you want to do. But that should give you like a thing to start with. The Necro. So yeah, check those resources out. All in the home tab. So again, home tab, either the limb independent stuff right here, or scroll down to the technique section and go to the stick control variation inside of there. Let's see, got a couple more comments and questions. Oh, that's interesting, Tyler. You can elevate all the things? Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no, that's good to think that way. I mean, if you really want to, take it even to the next level, is like start acting as if you're world class. Like, just the systems that you put into place, the ways that you rehearse, the mindsets that you bring into it, like without like overdoing it and be like, hey, person who's been drumming for, I don't know, 4 years, I expect you to play at the level of somebody who's been drumming for like 8 years. Like, obviously don't do that. Which is, by the way, what they did for, I forget the name of it. One of the education reform things, they just basically took every grade level and were like, we're going to increase the difficulty level. And so they just like moved everything up like one level. So like, kindergartners are now being expected to like perform at the first grade level. Like, don't do that. That was dumb. That was a bad idea. But, you're welcome, Necro. But yeah, like that's awesome. I tried to bring the same kind of mindset to whatever group that I was working with, but like sometimes with like some of the high schools that I was with, some of them were like, we're not really interested in playing good. We just are here to have fun. And I had to like either respect and accept that or just like move on and be like, all right, fine. I'll go to another school where they like care about the performing and not just like the socializing. So you just got to know what you want to do. But for independent groups, it's different story. Your hands are dysfunctional. Your left hand is always out. Do. Incredibly frustrating doing single strokes. Let let's see, is it Christoph? Have you checked out the endurance and speed playlist under technique right here? So some of my favorite exercises for working on hand speed and like the coordination is inside of here. And yesterday I was actually playing a lot of these on the drum kit. Well, not a lot of these. I was playing this on the drum kit for like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. But I was playing like a singles version called Chug down here. It was fun to do that with the feet. But if you go to the top here, there's like all these like pyramids. These pyramids could be like really helpful for like being able to work on that. So what it's doing is it's just like slowly layering in more. So you start off with alternating, so 1 on each hand, and then it does 2 on each hand, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then 32, and it just keeps going and going. So you're just playing 16th notes, diddles, 4s, 8, 1, etc., and it just keeps going. So like this could be a really good way to like work on that coordination with it. But the thing that I warmed up with, Christoph, could also be really helpful for you, which was the like stick control with filler versions. So these, if you go to like, let's say we just do like this normal one right here, stick control with filler, not the advanced one that I warmed up with. But what it's doing is it's taking like the sticking pattern, the like the framework. So right, left, right, left, right, left. And you're filling it in on the third measure. So you're playing that same sticking pattern. Right, left, right, left. But you're filling in the left hand. Okay, so that could be like a really good way to get those singles down. So this just goes with different sticking patterns, like the 4s. And then you'll have like be able to get your single speed down. But another thing outside of like these specific exercises, when it comes to the sorry, I'm trying to think of like how I want to phrase this, because I don't like talking smack. I think there's enough of that in the world and I don't need to contribute any more to it. So I'm trying to be polite with how I say this to other drumming content creators, because you know you do you. But there are people who will demonstrate really fast hand speed, and so when they play, they're like, and you might look at that and go like, wow, that's like really fast. Yeah, and it sounded bad. The left hand was like slightly later than the right hand, so it was like a slightly swung sound, and it was inconsistent. If you were to slow that down, you wouldn't hear even 16th notes. What you would hear is like, that's an exaggerated version of what I was just playing. It would be like a little bit off. So I see a lot of these like gimmicky like social media techniques that people will use where they like demonstrate something and they're just like, yeah, look how fast I can play. And you're like, and it's like, cool, it sounds bad. It's fast, sure. But are you going to play that rhythmically in time? No. Like, it's just literally like a controlled rebound or whatever it is that the technique is that they're demonstrating. So just be careful when you see other people playing fast. You might be setting yourself up for like unrealistic expectations where you're like, well, why can't I play it that fast and controlled? Well, because they're not controlling it. They're just literally getting the one take where it sounds semi-okay, and they're just sharing that online. But like, the real thing is like that control, that consistency across multiple reps. So that way, you know, when you're recording something, you're not just like, well, that one take was great, and if you take this part from this one and this other part from this other one and then this one, we can like Frankenstein it together and it'll sound fine. Okay, but what about when you perform it live? Like, you want to make sure that, you know, it sounds consistent every single time you play through it. So just a word of caution. But like I was saying, the home tab here, the endurance and speed playlist can be really helpful for you underneath the technique section for just like being able to develop that overall speed. There's a ton of cool exercises in here. And then the other thing for just general like coordination and whatnot is for singles is the filler versions of stick control. Those can help out. Sorry, reading the other comment. Looking into requiring no music stands. Do you think this is unfair expectations? Um, mm, 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 mm. I can see some reasons. I can see some instances of that going really good, and some instances of that ending up causing some problems. So, what are your goals with it? It would be my question for you, Tyler. Like, what by removing the music stands, what do you hope to achieve from that? If that makes sense. But it's a great question. It's a great thought process to go through. It's just I want to make sure that I understand the intent behind it before I like give any thoughts on it. Because yeah, you could definitely do that. Oops, it's muted. It's muted. Stop it. Get some help. All right, let's try hitting drum fast. Wish me luck. Cool. Sorry. All right. So let me see the response you gave. Goals are to set an expectation. Memorization as a requirement at the level that you're pushing for. Fair. Had individuals asking me if they had. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh yeah, that is a problem. So just reading through the comment, people are on the vertical, you can't see the horizontal comments, but so saying that like previously it wasn't really an expectation to come to the auditions with the music memorized, and that it sometimes would take weeks into the season until it would like become memorized. Why specifically just for the snares though? So if the expectation is like to be able to come with it memorized, why just the snares? Why not the snares and the tenors? And I'm asking that because like for bass drum, for auditions, sometimes people will only audition for one drum, and then other times people will switch around between the different drums and be like, oh, well, maybe this person, instead of putting them on drum 3, maybe they'd be a better fit on drum 4. And so like having that music memorization expectations at the audition might be unrealistic for constantly switching around. But for tenors, I'm curious why the expectation would only be for the snares. I'm sure you have a good thought process for that. Let's hit faster while you type that. Sorry, reading through the comment again. Because that was the only section where we seriously had competition for spots. Oh, interesting. Snares are the target group. Yeah, that's totally understandable for not having it that way for the basses. Okay. So, Tyler, do you already have the packet for the upcoming year? Because if so, like, I can create you play-alongs for that. Just send it to me if you want. like you did previously. Just send me an email. And then we can get that out soon. I've been working on like a massive sheet music project. That's going to take me a couple months to finish, but like there's no like deadline for that. So I could expedite your stuff if you'd like me to. But that could definitely help. One of the things that you could potentially do is like, hey, if you're on a drum, no sheet music. If you're off a drum, you can use sheet music. Then it's like, it's allowing for the students who are not comfortable to like still have that crutch if they need it, especially because like there's a lot of inequalities with like the ability to prepare for an audition, where some people like just don't have time to do that, and then if they are punished by just like feeling like they're not good enough, they won't be able to, like they won't want to stick around. But if they're able to like still get the lessons learned by like still being able to see, oh, this is the feedback that the instructors were providing to the section I'm auditioning for, or this is like the ways that they rehearsed, like those are invaluable. Like I strongly encourage people to like audition for groups that they're not ready for yet. Like my first year I marched snare, I auditioned for the Blue Devil snare line. Was I good enough? No. Did I learn a lot in the process? Oh yeah. So like I highly recommend like pushing yourself and like at least seeing like what are the next levels above where I'm currently at and where I want to aspire to be at. So that can be helpful. But if you make it so that like people can have the sheet music with them like on the pad, like not on the drum, then yeah, like that could allow you to still provide educational value while also pushing to the line to like these are the expectations. What you will want to do though is like make it abundantly clear in advance, like here's what the expectation is and here's what the accommodation is if you are unable to meet that expectation. Like you can sit there and pad it out with the music if you're not comfortable with it on a particular exercise. Otherwise, the expectation is that you are ready to go, which is one of the reasons why like I recommend when people are auditioning, like a month before that is when you should have everything memorized, like ready to go. So then you have just a month of refining things. And because life happens where like you're like, you get into a car accident and you can't like drum for a couple weeks, or like you have a relative who's sick and you need to take care of them. So like it gives you that buffer time. So if you can provide resources to help with the like practicing and memorization, like the play alongs that I can make for you, or just having the packet out super early, and resources for like here's how you can work on memorizing sheet music, whatever, those kind of things can be like super helpful for elevating the game. But having that expectation of the music memorized, I don't think is unrealistic. Like it just depends on how much time you give them. Like if you give them a week to like memorize it, like good luck. But if you like give them several months to be able to memorize it, awesome. Then that could be like a fair expectation for them. And again, like there's the inequalities of the level of preparation with it, but like that's just part of the activity, and that's going to happen regardless of what accommodations you do or do not make. Just trying to find like educational, what word do I want to use? Like a breadth of support, scaffolding, if you will, for like those who can come very prepared and those who just don't have the time for it, but still want to learn and want to be able to get something out of the experience. Like one of the things that I think is important for independent groups in particular is not just to think about the audition as preparing like trying to find out who's going to be on the line this year, but also like preparing like the future generations of people who are going to be on the line 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, because there will be some like younger drummers who like aren't ready for it. Jump scare. Thank you for the sub. They're not going to be ready for it. But when like they go to the audition and see what it's like and like learn the things from there, then that can like help prepare them for the future. So like there have been a lot of people who I know who like didn't make a line that they really wanted to be on, and then like a few years down the road, that like they were the center snare for like that particular line, and it's because of the support, the scaffolding that they provided for that. It brings a call to action. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope that helps. And Tyler, it's great that you're thinking through this, But yeah, I don't feel that that's an unrealistic expectation as long as you're providing the support and you give it advanced like notice for it. But yeah, the play-alongs would definitely help because then they could just help them practice with it. And yeah, even creating like supporting materials, like here's how we recommend memorizing music. Or like you are great at breaking down stuff like videos. Honestly, I wish you'd make more YouTube videos because it'd be valuable. Like if you could create YouTube videos that just like, you know how the Aged Out podcast, they'll like invite people on, like recently, I think it was recently, they invited like Rhythm X on to just talk through show design. If you were to talk through even like just like exercise design, like how is it that this exercise is constructed from a musical standpoint, like to help with memorization. So here, let me do it. Nope, not this one. If I go to here, back to the one that I warmed up with. So this is advanced stick control with filler. So like this exercise looks like really complicated when you're looking at it because it's like 4/4 into 12/16 back into 4/4 into 12/16. It's like, what is going on here? Like, how do you memorize this? But if you just like, okay, the left column is check, it's just alternating. The middle column is some kind of a sticking pattern. And then the right column is that same sticking pattern. You're just filling in a little note in between there. So when you have a couple of right hands in a row, well, the fill-in is going to put a left hand right in between that. So you're going to go right, left, right, left, right, left. And that's how we get this rhythm right here. But then the next line, it's the exact same thing. It's just instead of doing it in 1E and a 2E and it's thinking in triplets. So triplet, 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 right, right, left, right, right, left. So it's the same idea, and then you fill in with the sticking. So like creating some kind of instructional videos to like support like understanding the music, just like a quick breakdown of like, here's what this exercise does, here's some things to look out for, or some things to focus on. Like that could like just elevate the game so much for like the preparation, because then you're not having to do that in the actual audition process. Like in the audition process, or like in the like the sectional breakdown that you'll end up doing after everybody makes a line. You're like, okay, now let's define this thing. Let's refine this thing. Let's work on stick control for like 5 hours straight, which having done that, like if there were videos like in advance where people could have like done that at home, then the overall level and the quality is just going to be higher. Like for the people who want to make the line, they're going to go through this stuff. So it's like a lot of energy and time to be able to create those kind of support materials. But if you can like put that in the audition packet, so it's not just the music, not only will they actually like learn the music, but they will also learn what the expectations are for how to play that, like the approach for it, the overall technique, the way to approach the phrasing or the dynamics, or like, oh, on this upstroke, you're going to use this particular type of technique as opposed to this other one, or whatever it may be. That can help out. And it's one of those things that like, it is a lot of energy at the beginning, but it just like pays off in the long run, because you can either do it now and in advance, or you can have like potentially several months where they are practicing something that you don't want for the technique. And then they'll show up, they'll make a line, and then you got to go back and do it anyways, but it's going to take longer because they've already reinforced those habits that you didn't want with a technique that you're not looking for. Whereas you could like fix it now, or at least attempt to, with the materials. For those who actually, go through it. And those who don't, won't make the line, most likely. But good questions, Tyler. Hopefully that helps in some way. Let's hit drum fast again. I think I was at 115, maybe 114. But if I go here into the technique section, whoop. Rudiment builders is where I'm at. And this is like, I'm glad I'm getting all these questions, because like I'm near my breaking point here, so I don't know how much paradiddles I can play. Now that first line for each one of the columns, those are all downstrokes, because you're simulating the paradiddle, which are downstrokes. So don't treat those as legatos. That's brisk, baby. Those hartas are weird, playing with that accent on there, as opposed to just like all the same height. But you know, again, so this is the downstroke for the paradiddle. This is the second half of the paradiddle, specifically the diddle part. And then this is the first half of the paradiddle. So this is basically preparing you to play the last measure, and it's just kind of breaking it down. So that way you can go zoom, zoom. All right. Here we go. Cool. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Guess who's back? Back again. I am back. Tell all your friends. Whee! Oh my goodness, it's too quick. Alright, so we're gonna try that 120. Oh no, you're crying. Do you need a tissue? Here you go. Here. There you go. We'll wipe it off. Alright. Just for funsies, we'll do it at 120. That was the goal eventually to get it to. So the techniques that I was working on is feeling better, which is great. No! I started slurring it out. Okay, so again, the thing that I was working on, starting that at 20 and then going up 100 clicks, was the contact point on the thumb. So that way I'm not squeezing right here on the tip. Don't want that. Want equal distribution. And then also not flattening out the left hand because of all the time marching this way. And now I'm playing this way. My left hand is just like, I don't know about that. But huge improvement. So that's awesome. Now what I'm going to do is just chop out for fun. So in the home tab of YouTube, this is where you'll find the like thousands of resources. The thing that I was just playing is in the technique section. So inside of here, it's in the rudiment builders playlist, but there's a bunch more different stuff to work on. Timing, your rolls, your flams, whatever it is that you want to work on. And then down here is over 20 hours of me answering questions from these streams, or the scripted lessons on like a specific topic, like how to hold traditional grip, or how to work on your flams, or whatever it is that you want to learn about. Lots of content in there, literally thousands of videos. In the chop section, what I'm going to actually do is play a chug variation to chop out. It's a fun one to do with paradiddles, and four strokes. So it's this one. Chug with paradiddles and paradiddle fours. Okay? So this, you have paradiddle. Okay, so that's the 3, and then a 3 again. And then the 2 pattern is paradiddle 4. Paradiddle 1, 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle 1, 2, 3, 4. Which it'll repeat multiple times down here. Okay? So this exercise is a fun chug variation. And we're going to start off at, I don't know, 70? Sure. And I'm going to go up by 10s until my arms burst into flames. Just having fun. Chopping out. Now, the 4s, by the way, are a controlled rebound. So, especially as I get into the faster speeds, the faster tempi, you're not going to stroke each one of those. Here we go. 80. I screwed up the attack because I was like trying to rotate my pad and then I was late. Cut. All right, 90. 100. Click. 120 should feel comfortable. 130 will probably be the breaking point. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Today's episode of Hit Things Fast. $110. That's the count, by the way. In case that just... Whoosh. And go. Way early. Mm-hmm. 120. Click. Okay, I'm gonna stall for time by drinking water. Water, it tastes great. Use code Jared in the water store. And then I'll become a billionaire. All right, 130. That was 120, right? I think. Hold on. Okay. This is what I ended up with. It was just slowly sliding out of my hand. I could barely get my middle finger on the stick. That's why it just like completely just like got worse and worse and worse. It started off here and it's just like wee, ended up right there. Nice. Let's try that again. 130. This time without hard mode. Play everything with it. Just holding onto the tips. No! That's where it is. That's funny. It's on the paradiddle diddle. Like the paradiddle diddle is just like paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle. It's just slowly sliding down the stick. That's funny. Cool. Turns out that was fast. I liked it though. So what I like to do in these streams is like spend a couple minutes warming up, stretch and massage. That takes like 5 to 10 minutes for both of those combined. And then spend the majority of it grinding out something, and then chopping out at the end. When you chop out at the end, that can give you some data for things to like work on and refine in your future technique chunk of practice. But if you want to improve your drumming, all these thousands of play-alongs are available for free. Go to the home tab. Under the chop section, ours is playing the Chug, one of the Chug variations, but there's 32 videos in there. If you're a rudimental drummer like me, I'd highly recommend checking out the Shopping Spree playlist. There's a ton of sprees in there, some really iconic ones. Highly recommend it. There's over 1,000 grid variations. There's 420 in the triplet one. There's 578 for the 16th note one. And then at the very bottom, past all these rudiments, there's some wacky ones, 37 of them, like Herta grid or taps only grid, whatever. If you're a drum kit player, Limb Independence has a ton of like resources to help you practice limb independence, as well as a video that shows you how to develop it, going step by step through using these different resources. There's marching bass drum stuff that simulates being on a bass line. That one has 162 videos in it. It's worth your time if you're a marching bass drummer. But I'd highly recommend spending most of your time actually working on the timing stuff if you're like beginner or intermediate. So go through those. There's drumline cadences and score format. There's computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. There's also sight reading exercises. These are scheduled to release starting in November, but there's almost 300 of them, and stay tuned for many more. There's almost 500 technique exercises. The thing that I was practicing today was in the Rudiment Builders playlist, but I warmed up with a stick control variation, and then I also talked about the endurance and speed exercises in this playlist when somebody's asking a question. Speaking of asking a question, I will often edit my answers and put them in this drumming tips playlist. It has over 20 hours of Q&A. And if you're like, why would I want to hear what you have to say? I've been drumming for almost 30 years. I've been taught by literal world champions or their teachers. And I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD music education. So I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student. So there's a range of tips on how to get better as a performer and a teacher. So check those out if you're interested in it. But there's also the drumming tips playlist that has scripted lessons on like tenor playing zones or how to actually drum louder or how to speed up a rudiment, whatever. So check those out. Lots of content. Every day there's a new play along that releases. Every Friday there's a new drumming tip that releases. And every Monday there's a new drumming lesson that releases. So if you see any of these members' first ones, there's over 500 of them like this one. They're all scheduled to come out for free. If you want the early access, join 99 cents. Or for whatever reason, it's 100% off for me, so maybe it's free for you as well. You just press the join button, and then you might have that 100% off coupon. I don't know why YouTube's giving that to me, but that's weird. maybe you've got it too. So go to your favorite content creator, see if they have a join button under any of their videos. And if they do, see if you can get a free membership with them. But all the videos that I create are coming out for free, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to get ready for Yakuza Like a Dragon, which yesterday the stream crashed after like 24 minutes or something. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you enjoy these free resources, share it with somebody else. If you don't enjoy these free resources, share it with an enemy. Goodbye.